All right, so let's see if it runs any different this time. I know, right, Brian? And Brian, I know you says it was coming through fine, but it was very irritating on my side. I kept seeing it shut off. I kept saying offline. So I don't know if it's just YouTube screwing up or if it's Comcast. So we'll see what happens. We'll restart this video. Welcome back. Take two. This is why editing, the videos that are edited are way easier, because you go through all of that frustration, but you guys don't have to deal with it. And I don't have to cough in people's ears and get them all sad. Kimberly says, way better. Way better. All right, Kimberly, I'm glad it's way better. Not better, better. You better believe it. Rhonda DeLone. Hello, hello. All right, so we're back. So again, make sure you subscribe, share, like, all of that fun stuff. Donate for the cause. Support the channel. Help the people that are in prison, that are indigent, that don't have any money. That's where all of the donations go. And you can do that real easy by clicking on the money symbol down by the little text box. There's a link in the description of the video for a PayPal link. All sorts of crazy ways to try to get this going here. So I apologize for this YouTube channel popping on and off. It's aggravating. So we're talking about personal narratives and character reference letters. Specifically the personal narrative. The personal narrative is the letter that the judge is going to read at the time of your sentencing. And usually, if you get the letter to him or get it to your attorney with plenty of time, he's going to read it well before your sentencing. And the judges really do read these letters. They can have a tremendous impact, or they can have a horrible impact. Most letters that you read, that people write, they're just horrible. And it's not that the writing or the grammar is horrible. It's the theme of the letter. It's he's so sorry. He didn't mean to do it. He's a good guy. He deserves a second chance. He needs to be near his children. All this begging and pleading to the judge to go easy on him at sentencing and give him a second chance, or give her a second chance. And that's human nature for us to want to say that in the letters, because we're backed into a corner, we feel, and now we're giving like this last gasp of attempt to try to get the judge to sympathize with us, and it does not work. You guys have to remember, as hard as it is to try to put yourself in his shoes or her shoes, you have to remember that they've seen a million letters before yours that are just like that are begging and pleading, and how it's going to be hard on the kids, and how it's going to be hard on the parents, how it's going to be hard on the dying dog, all of these reasons why he shouldn't go to prison. You can't put that stuff in the letter. As much as you want to, you can do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, it's not going to have the impact that you're hoping for. And it might even have the opposite adverse impact. What we do is we give you some basics to go off of. We give you ideas, we give you samples, and then you'll write your own letter. Your character references are going to write their letters. All the letters come back to us. We make edits, we make recommendations, we give them back to you so they are properly prepared for the judge. If we see you putting crazy stuff in these letters, and not intentionally, but if we see you begging, or your family members are talking about you're a good guy and you got shafted, and it's not fair, somebody else got off, and why are you going to time? I'm telling you guys, we'll tell you, hey, tell your friend to redo this letter. And if it's your letter, your narrative will tell you, hey, you need to redo your letter, because you're not giving us anything to work with. We tell you the information we need in the letter. We need to know, you need to talk about your crime. You need to talk about what your frame of mind was at the time of making the decision to do your crime, how you're identifying that, identifying who your victims are. Everybody has victims. I don't care what your crime was, you've got victims. So don't anybody tell me in the room you don't have a victim. And if you think you don't have a victim, you need to really think harder about that and get out of your own bubble and start realizing about your friends and family that are also going through this with you, what you're putting them through. Now, coming to me and asking me that you need help for personal narrative and character reference letters at the last minute makes it really, it puts extra stress on you and your family. Look, we're still going to get it done for you, but if your family drags their feet, we can't make them do things at a certain pace. You can push them all you want. But the more time that you give us to work on these letters, and we can go back and forth with you. When you give us a week, week and a half, we got to take whatever you got. We got to be able to work with it. We got to be able to make edits, recommendations, get it back to you within 24 hours, 48 hours, and have time to get it to you and your attorney so you can get it off to the judge and hopefully have a really good impact at sentencing. Lawyers aren't always going to tell you how important a personal narrative and a character reference letter are. They're not always going to bring it up. They may not care, because their only concern is getting you a plea and working some kind of a deal out with prosecution. We all know most, especially in the feds, most cases end in a plea. So the attorneys are waiting for the prosecutors to offer a plea. They bring it to you. They want you to take it. They want you to swallow it, and they want to move on to their next case. They don't care about anything else that could help you with your time. They don't care about RDAP. They don't care about additional halfway house. They don't care about your person. I'm not going to say all attorneys. I don't want to make this crazy accusation that there's no good attorneys out there. But the majority of the people that I see, I hear the same thing over and over and over again. Their attorneys suck. Their attorneys aren't doing anything. And a lot of the times, your attorneys are so limited to what they actually can do because you don't have gazillions of dollars to really fight it the way that you might need to fight it if you wanted to. And on the same token, some of you will go, I think I need to fire my attorney. He's not doing any of this stuff. He's not talking about personal narratives. Look, we all know what it's going to cost to go get an attorney, right? Let's say you got a federally appointed attorney right now. It's free. You got a federally appointed attorney, and you're like, you know what? This attorney, he's not telling me any of this stuff. He doesn't know anything about RDAP. He doesn't know anything about personal narratives and character reference letters and getting me prepared for my PSR. He doesn't know anything about this stuff, or at least he's not bringing it to my attention. So you're thinking, I'm going to fire this guy, and I'm going to go hire an attorney. So we all know you're not going to get an attorney for to get an attorney for 10 grand, you got some kind of a deal. Most federal attorneys, they're anywhere from 20, 30, 40, 50, up to a couple $100,000. So when you're talking about getting rid of your federal attorney to go spend potentially, let's call it 25, 30 grand on an attorney that may not give you anything else other than what the federal appointed attorney gave you, you're taking a big crapshoot. You're taking a big crap is what you're doing. You're taking a big crap down the toilet, and there goes all your money. So your other alternatives are the stuff that your federal appointed attorney is not handling. That's all the stuff that we focus on. And we don't cost anywhere near the cost of a federal attorney. So you can use your federal attorney to start negotiating your plea, working on that portion of it, which that's really the only thing that they're really useful for. Everything else that you need, we can help facilitate. Letters, RDAP, PSR preparation, making sure you're qualified for that interview when you do your PSR. When the PSR comes back, you want to make sure that it's accurate and correct before it gets sent off and it's finalized. These are all things that our team can make sure that you are completely prepared for. Completely prepared for, guys. Sometimes a paid attorney gives you the same result that a federal appointed attorney will give you. And I wish Todd Hansen were here to talk to you about that, because he spent over a couple $100,000 in legal fees and feels like at the end of the day, there's nothing good that came from his attorneys that he would not have gotten from a different attorney. All of Todd's good fortune and everything that good that happened to him in his case was because he was willing to put in the work and effort. And that work and effort was a direct result of when he finally engaged with me, coming up with a plan, putting a plan in place, and then Todd executing that plan. A plan is no good if you're not willing to put in the time and effort and execution on it. Todd was willing to do it, and he saw dramatic results. Same thing with Will. Will was looking at, not as much time as Todd, but Will was looking at prison time. His attorney told him he was definitely going to prison. No way around it. Will didn't just sit there and lay down like that. He fought. And you know what? If Will would have went to prison, he wouldn't be sitting in his bunk going, what if I had done this? What if I had done something different? What if I had tried? What if I had done the community service? Because he did all of that, that was now no longer on the table. He was no longer ever going to wonder if he could have done something that he didn't do. And his efforts paid off. He got probation, guys. It's huge. And it all starts with you picking up a phone, making an initiative to talk to me. I guarantee you there's not one of you out there that if you honestly see the value in what we can offer, and you believe that value exists, and you believe it is an actual thing that we can do for you, whatever the fee is, you'll figure out a way to come up with it. Because somehow you guys figure out ways to come up with 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 for legal fees. But this gets overlooked. Narratives, PSRs, RDAP, halfway house, mental stability, mental preparation, staying positive. This is all shit you guys overlook, and I don't know why. If your attitude sucks and you don't know how to get your mental state right, you're going to have a horrible experience. Everything you do is going to be negative. If you don't have somebody in your corner that can fight and push and make sure that when you're having a bad day, they're there to lift you up, when you start shit and you start saying how negative things are and you start talking about how nothing's ever going to change and how nothing's fair, if you don't have somebody that's going to tell you and slap you around and tell you to stop talking like that, because it doesn't do any good. Even though, look, the end result maybe shit might not work out. I've got a couple of clients right now that we're busting our ass. We're trying to do everything we can do to get additional halfway house for, and the prison is just out to get them. You know, and it's legit. The prison is out to get them. The prison is saying one thing, the halfway house is saying another. Now, I know what the real answer is because I go through this. I know that the people that are in charge of the halfway house, directors, coordinators, even the ones that oversee different regions of the halfway house, they are not in charge of how much halfway house time you get. They are only in charge of organizing which halfway house you might go to. Like if you got a co-defendant that you can't be around, they might tell you, hey, you can't come to this halfway house because your co-defendant's going to be here. But they have nothing to do with how much time that you're going to get. That is up to the prison. So when the prison starts trying to put that off on somebody else, it's this blame game, passing the buck around. And when that kind of stuff happens, it can get real frustrating for the It can get real frustrating for me because it ties our hands. You know, we can't, it's not like I can go kick the doors down to the prison and say, you have to do this. The prison doesn't have to do a damn thing. And that's why I tell you guys, when we get into this, when you guys take me on, I'll tell you, you know, we're going to do everything we can do. But if we could give guarantees, that means we've got some kind of a secret in that nobody else has, and we just don't have that right now. We don't have an in. We don't have somebody that can pull strings and make it happen. I'm not saying those people aren't out there, but I haven't found them yet. And even if I did find them, I imagine after so much time that would get abused and it would just disappear. We go through the proper channels, we put in the work, we put in the effort, we do everything that we can do to try to assist you guys in every angle. And not everybody is going to get the best of results. But that doesn't mean you have to get negative and just motherfuck the world. That means you have to realize that this is just one more reason why I have to make sure, if it's you going through this yourself or if it's your loved one going through this, you have to make sure that whatever allowed these course of actions to take place, that you correct your thinking and you correct your attitude so this never happens again. Because we put ourselves in this situation. Whoever's in prison put themselves in that situation. If they hadn't made choices that allowed them to get in trouble and get caught up, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. You wouldn't need my service. So I hate when we find people that we run into a brick wall, and it's frustrating. It's sad because you know how much somebody wants to come home. You know how hard they're working to come home. When somebody does everything they're supposed to do, they've gone through RDAP, they've done everything they're supposed to do, and they're just getting brick walled from every which way. It's anger. It's anger. And I tried not to allow myself to get emotionally involved, but I do, because we're reading these letters and I'm going through it and I hear the emotion in the family. I hear the emotion in the client, and it's frustrating. It's angry. It's sad. And because I was there, I know how frustrated I would have been if it didn't work for me when I was trying to get my additional halfway house time. I know what that halfway house meant to me at that moment, even though in the large scheme of things, it wouldn't matter. I'd be out now still doing probably what I'm doing. But in the moment, You want it now, that immediate gratification. Not everybody's going to get it. So we do everything that we can do. It's why we can't give guarantees. That's why I can't make promises. That's why we do the way we do it, guys. But I can tell you, the sooner you include us into the battle, you found out you're indicted today or you're under investigation, you include us into your team, we start preparing now for battle, you have a lot better of an opportunity for positive outcomes later on, because we can set so many other things in motion. We can have you doing progress reports. We can have you doing community service. We can make sure that you're maintaining your job. We can make sure that your narratives and your character reference letters and your narratives are spot on. We can make sure if you're going to be able to qualify for RDAP, that you're going to be able to qualify. We're going to take a lot of the guesswork out of it. You're not going to be going through a maze. You're going to be going straight down the center to the finish line. The only thing that's going to be the carrot dangling at the end is how you do your time in prison, staying out of trouble, and how much halfway house time we're going to be able to help you get. Those are going to be the two things that are going to be decided at a later date. Everything else that you do and that you plan for, if you put in the work and effort, amazing things can happen. Shorter sentences, personal narratives. Personal narrative done right equals shorter sentence. Simple as that. People don't, because their attorneys will tell them, it doesn't really matter. That's because most personal narratives fucking suck. Most of them suck so bad that if you were reading it from a third-party person and you had nothing invested in it and you read the letter, all you would hear is boo-hoo, boo-hoo, begging, begging, please, Your Honor, give me probation, my kids, wah, wah, wah. That's all you would hear. Remember Charlie Brown? Wah, 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 wah. That's all you're going to hear, and that's all the judge hears. So now we've got this method in place where that's not what the judge hears. The judge is like, well, wait a minute, what is this? He's seeing and hearing something that he is not used to seeing and hearing. And if you don't think that's going to make a difference, you're in denial. And you're just telling yourself what you want to hear because you don't want to fucking work for it. It's the worst thing in the world to see a client, and I'm not talking about people that haven't signed up. I'm talking about clients that have paid me money and I'm begging you to write your personal narrative. It's like I'm begging you. And you're like, all right, I'll do it tonight. And I'm like, don't just do it when you're tired. Don't come home after work, have a beer, get all comfortable, and then write your personal narrative. Fucking get up early Saturday morning when you have the day off, and when you're going to go out and go do whatever the fuck it is you're going to go do and have a good day. Fuck your good day. Sit down for the whole day and work on your personal narrative, because you're going to prison. You're going to prison. Whoever's watching this right now, you're probably going to prison, and you're not doing anything about it except bare minimal shit, thinking that none of it matters because you're so spun and you're so overworked and your anxiety is going through the roof that you don't know. It says it in the description. If you don't know where to start, give me a call. That doesn't equal give me a call and it's going to cost money. That's not what these videos are about. That's not what calling me is about. And there's so many of you in this room right now. Matter of fact, we got Jay in the room, right? Jay, you still here with us? Jay's been talking to me on and off for a year, almost a year, right, Jay? Something like that, maybe 8, 9, 10 months. It's been a long time. And you're not a client. I mean, you just became a client. Just became a client today. And we've been going back and forth for a year. So if anybody out there is thinking, oh, Dan's just how much money did it? No, because if that were the case, I wouldn't be having conversations and answering your call and texting with you for a year. The likelihood of somebody becoming a client after 2 or 3 phone calls, if they haven't made the decision by then, use 7 months. If it doesn't have 3 phone calls, I usually just in my mind say, okay, this is not for him. But he may have questions or concerns, and I'm going to still answer those questions or concerns, because if I didn't do that, then I would be exactly the person that I talk shit about and the person that I don't want to be. And that's not what this channel is intended for. This channel is intended to help everybody that I can, whether it be through messages, whether it be through videos, whether it be through actual services, whatever it is, guys. I'm putting out I'm giving everything that's inside of me, and I'm getting more and more inside of me. I'm getting more information. I'm getting more knowledgeable. And as I get it, I share it out with you guys. I'm trying to do some stuff with FAMM, Families Against Minimum Mandatories. I know a lot of you have even sent me messages saying, hey, you should reach out to these guys. They got a really good article that they just released. If you go to their website, FAMM, I think FAMM.org, just go to Google and type in FAMM, FAMM. They've got a great article that they just released that's very relevant to almost every single one of you in this room that might be looking at prison time. It's talking about minimum mandatories. It's talking about giving RDAP to people that don't qualify now that should qualify, making more programs available in prison, making colleges available in prison, making more jobs available that are suitable to an actual job that you might get on the outside instead of some bullshit job sweeping the sidewalk that isn't really going to help you rehabilitate anything at all. So there are companies out there, are organizations out there that want to do good, like them. I think they're a great organization. I'm sure they're overworked, understaffed. But the point is what are you doing right now? Those of you that are watching this video, there's only 12 of you. There should be 1,200 of you. That's the problem, is there's a bunch of people out there going to federal prison. Instead of going online and Googling what they're doing, they're fucking crying, they're complaining, they're sticking their head in the sand, they're blaming the world, they're blaming whoever told on them, they're blaming the feds, when they should be on this channel learning what they can actually be doing right now to better their situation, and they're just not. We've got people like Jessie Tang who will come into the room and bitch about how fucked up everything is and not do a thing about it. And I wish he was here right now because I want to give him a scolding. Monday, my video was only, 20-30 minutes long. I had stuff to do, guys. My life, but I also have other things that I have to do sometimes as well. And as much as I want to be on here 24/7, sometimes I can't. And I saw, as I was logging off, I saw Jessie Tang getting his panties in a bunch, saying how fucked up this is, and he was ripped off. Ripped off from what? It doesn't cost you anything to come watch my stream. I don't have a commitment that I'm going to guarantee to give an hour. I talk as long as I feel the energy in me. When the energy starts leaving me, I get off here, because then I just start not making stuff up, but I start rambling and I don't know what to talk about, guys. I don't prepare for these videos. I prepare a topic, we get into it, we engage. Once the energy level starts diminishing, I want to get off. I don't want to be on here anymore, because I want to share the energy that I'm having with you guys. I want my energy to transfer this microphone through this camera into your hearts, into your body, into your mind. And when you get off here, I want you to go spread that out as well. Go tell your wife, oh, I just learned this tonight, or I'm in such a good mood. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to a movie. You know what? Let's work on my personal narrative. Let's work on the character reference letters. What are we doing right now what aren't we doing right now that we could be doing? That's the point of these videos. They should be getting you riled up and ready to go. So when I feel the energy dying off and I feel myself getting a little sluggish, that's going to feed off to you guys. You're going to start getting sluggish and you're going to want to go take a nap. So if my video ends in 20 minutes and Jessie Tang wants to get all, panties in a bunch, Jessie Tang, so glad you're not here tonight. Oh. Tell him how you really feel, rdapdan. Brian CC, 7 months working with Dan. That's what I'm saying. A lot of you guys have been with me for a long rodeo, well before any of you became clients. So I'm not just here. I don't talk to you once or twice, and when you tell me you can't sign up or you don't agree to sign up, we don't stop the conversation. The conversation doesn't stop there. We stop talking about me sending you invoices and all that bullshit, and then I answer your questions. You text me a question, I answer your question. You say you need a minute of phone call, I give you a phone call. You have an email question, I answer the question. You say you want to get your wife, your friend, your mother, your brother on the phone because they got questions, I get on the phone and answer the questions. You guys have to be able to know what you're dealing with. How many pages was your narrative? Double line spacing. Not sure. Oh, Chris is back. Hello, Chris. I'm glad the stream is going better, guys. When the streams chop like that and I keep seeing it going offline, it literally it's like Mario. It's like every time it goes offline, I lose a life. And it's like I start getting unmotivated, demotivated. I like to stay motivated because I get riled up for these shows. I put my makeup on. Shannon, you still in the room? I meant to say hi to you. I saw you pop in for a second. I don't know what's going on with Joe from After Prison Show. He's fallen off the face of the earth. We were talking on a pretty regular basis, getting ready to do some stuff together, and then he went MIA on me. So if any of you can wrangle in Joe, tell him rdapdan's right here waiting, patiently waiting. So I don't know what's going on. But the other benefit of this room, guys, is it gives you guys the ability to talk to each other. Like right now, I see you guys all communicating with each other. So let's talk about, we real quick to end this conversation. We're not going to end the video yet, but to end the conversation on personal narratives, guys. If you are facing federal prison time, right? If that's you, if you're watching this video now or later, and you might be going to federal prison, do not just sit back and let your attorney do all the work. I'm telling you right now that you need to start focusing on your personal narrative, your character reference, your PSR interview, your possibilities of getting into RDAP, and your mental state of mind. If you're not doing that right now, reevaluate everything you're doing, reboot your mind, go take a walk, and think about what you are willing to do to get the outcome that you want. And it can all start with a simple phone call to me. We can come up with a plan that you can work with. All you got to do is call the phone number on your screen, 509-434-4695. It's that simple. Call, text, or email me. All my information's on this screen. We're about to talk about some other cool stuff here in a second, but right before we do that, I want to remind you guys one more time that the biggest thing you can help me do is spread this channel. Subscribe, share, tell the world. Tell your probation officer. Any of you that are on pretrial probation right now, tell them. And my video says low video output. Anyway, if you've got a probation officer, tell them about me. Tell them how this is helping you. Tell them how this could help other people on pretrial services. I've gotten plenty of probation officers that have been sending me sending me people to watch my channel. So do not just rely on what your attorneys tell you. Challenge everything. Like a little kid. Little kids ask questions. Somewhere along the line from being the age 5 to being the age wherever we are now, we fucking forgot how to ask a question because we're so afraid of offending somebody. I don't want to bug my attorney. I don't want to offend him. Holy shit, am I hearing you right? Am I hearing you tell me you do not want to bug your attorney because you're afraid you're going to offend him? Well, he's not going to be upset when you're sitting in prison. As a matter of fact, he won't even remember who you are. So blow his phone up. And if he doesn't respond, man, 2 a.m. when you can't sleep, boom, boom, boom. That's who you're texting, emailing, and leaving messages. Leave a message at 2 in the morning. Hey, attorney, this is Bob. That's right, it's 2 a.m. I can't sleep because I'm fucking riddled with anxiety because I have 7 billion questions and I don't know when I can ask them to you. And every time I ask you a question and we get off the phone, I feel like you didn't answer my question. Somehow, you got me. So when you have a minute, please call me and allow me to express myself. I'm telling you. When you become the squeaky wheel, you get the oil. Your attorney will deal with you before he deals with anybody else because he knows you're going to be a pain in the ass and he doesn't need any fucking headaches. He doesn't want the headache. He doesn't want you to be the pain in the ass. He doesn't want to get a bad review. He wants to be able to just go through his daily little routine with his blinders on. So you got to jump up and ooga booga, get his attention. I'm telling you, it works. I hear a lot of you guys doing that now, and you're telling me your attorneys are getting frustrated. It's like, yes, a frustrated attorney is a working attorney. That's how you know you're getting somewhere. When they're comfortable, they're not fucking working. Just like if you're comfortable right now, probably means you're doing something wrong. You should not be comfortable. All right, so don't forget, we've got plenty of viewers and guys that are getting ready to either go to prison or already in prison that are struggling like a you-know-what. and where community is method. I always personally do what I can do to help out anybody and everybody that I can with services, with commissary, different things like that. If you guys are in a caring, loving situation where you have an extra $5, $10 that's not going to break your bank, donate it, guys. Donate it. You can click on the money tab, which is right down here. Let's point to it again, man. I feel like I'm selling services here, but I'm not. We got the little money symbol right down there. All you got to do is click on that, or right in the description of the video. Support this channel. There's a PayPal link. Make it happen. You guys have the ability to make a difference. Those of you that always talk about wishing you could do something to help somebody, these are things that a lot of you can do. $5 for a lot of people probably isn't going to make or break your piggy bank. And it's not going into my pocket. And I hope you believe that, and I hope you know that. It's not going into my pocket. It goes to help the ones that need services, that need letters, that need this stuff, guys, because we try not to say no to anybody. We've got sponsors, we've got things like that, so we've got a lot of people doing a lot of big things. All right, so now on to the next big thing that's going to be coming down the pipe. I don't have an exact ETA, however, so we're going to be having somebody join our team, and he is a chemical dependency professional. He's a licensed chemical dependency professional. He's going to help with the part of this that I think will fit to give you guys. I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this. So let's say you're trying to get into RDAP and you want to make sure your chances are best possible. Well, a CDP, chemical dependency professional, can write a letter, an opinion letter, stating that yes, you do have substance abuse problems, and that substance abuse classes or a program would be beneficial. Now, the reason why I've decided to go, and I'm not going to say his name yet until it's official, but the reason why I'm deciding to go with this guy is he's worked in a few different halfway houses as the TDAP guy. What's TDAP? So when you get out of RDAP and you go to the halfway house, you got to continue 6 months of TDAP, which is like a continuation of RDAP. It's part of your qualifying, or part of your completing RDAP. Well, he's leaving that to come do this with me because he really sees so many people need the assistance. So not only is he going to be able to, he'll be able to coach with you guys, he'll be able to consult with you guys. Not only are we going to do that, but we're probably going to create 1 or 2 days a week where we're going to have a community. It's going to be a kind of a video or a live chat like this, but it's going to be more treatment based for people that are having addiction, alcohol, having problems coping, wanting to be able to get into these programs. We're going to try to do a community method on a video where he's going to be facilitating it. I'm going to be on just because it's going to be fun, and I love talking to you guys, but he'll be facilitating it because he's got background in this, he's got knowledge in this, he's got degrees in this, so it can help getting you guys to where you need to be in areas that maybe I'm not best suited for. So I hope you guys will look forward to that. Hopefully that will come to play within the next 3 to 6 weeks. So that to me is pretty big. Will Townsend, man, thank you very much, Will. Will's been, you're like a one-man show, Will. Will and John Goff. I know a few of you others have made donations, so it's beautiful when I see that, because $10, you might go spend that on a night out. You might go, drop that. You're in the gas station, like, oh, let me get a $10 lottery ticket. So now you miss one lottery ticket, but that $10 helps somebody else in so many ways that you can't even imagine. So Will, fucking thank you. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. But yeah, so is it Herc? It's not Herc. Is Herc a chemical dependency professional? If he is, holy shit, I never would have seen that one coming. Definitely not Big Herc. I've got no beef with Big Herc other than he puts out some half-ass videos sometimes, but other than that, I've got no beef with him. I'm starting to have beef with Joe from After Prison Show. He needs to reach out to me. I know he's going through a lot with his buddy in jail and stuff, but man, quick phone call, quick text message, Joe. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Joe. The little guy down here. Help him out. Yeah, Kevin, I apologize, man. Hopefully when this saves, it will run right. I'm going to call Comcast because like right now it says offline, online, offline. I don't fucking know. I'm going to call Comcast and bitch at them a little bit and see if maybe I can't like get a faster internet at my house. I don't know if there's like a business class for houses. We're gonna find out. Maybe they got to come rerun the line. Maybe there's a kink in the line. There's a kink in the line somewhere. We don't know what's going on. But look, the video topic, personal narratives, but it's really so much more than that. Almost every night, it's more than just the topic that we're talking about. The personal narratives are so important. And it doesn't just mean write one. It means the way it's written is important. Its message is important. The theme, your personal narrative, and your character reference letters from your friends and family, there's a theme that they need to match. And that theme could be different for everybody. But whatever the theme is, you can't have one person saying this over here and then another person saying something completely contrary to what was just said. It's chaos, it's confusion, it doesn't do anything except aggravate the judge, and it becomes toilet paper. So all you have to do is pick up the telephone and text me or call me, and I can give you some insight. You know, I a lot of times, for those of you that don't even become a client, I'm willing to send you a personal narrative from somebody else. Todd Hansen, who has allowed me to use his narrative to share with clients. I send you his narrative. And you're not even a client. You haven't paid me a dime. I'm giving you a narrative to give you an idea of what needs to go into one so you can see what direction to put your mind in. It doesn't get any better than that. We're talking, I'm giving you guys stuff, but you don't even pick up the phone and call me. That's all you have to do. Simple as that. I'm feeling the energy starting to just a little bit. So I think this is where we're going to pump the brakes, pull the plug. Until next time. I'm rdapdan, federal prison time. You guys are awesome. Will Townsend, thank you very much for the $10 donation. Much appreciated. Goes a long way. Anybody else ever wants to donate, you don't have to do it just through the live channel. There's a PayPal link. It's actually also on the screen as well where it says donate on that little blue. The PayPal link is, you can't click on it, but you can read it. It's real easy. But I hope you guys can help everybody just like I'm doing, whether you're in prison helping people, sharing this information with other people. Community is method, guys. People helping people. And like John Goff says, be sure to like this video and like all the other videos and share them, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram. I'm always posting. Sometimes it's not even prison related. It might just be about my dogs, Oliver and Einstein, or me going to the gym, posting a stupid selfie. So if you want to follow me in my real life, in my real world, I'm here, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All right, guys. Love every single one of you. Juan, Carlos, John, Will Townsend, Jay, John, Kevin. Who else we got in the room with us? We got all kinds of people in the room. You guys all rock. So I will see you guys, what's today? Wednesday. I'll see you guys Saturday. We'll try to do some more updates. The weekend to update. We'll give you some feedback from what's going on with some other people in prison, letting you know how they're doing. Hopefully I'll have a message by Sean then, thanking all of you guys for what you've been doing for him. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, love every single one of you. I'm rdapdan. I will see you soon. Peace.